let's add some thickness to our collar, and also we'll add the upholstered parts. So with this selected, let's go ahead and I'm just going to leave it as 1/2. And so the stuff that we do, we'll be able to mirror afterwards. So I'm just going to hit Control E to extrude, and I'm just going to add a little bit of thickness. And I'm going to say this is the wood amount. So I'm going to go minus 0.02. See what that looks like. So it's a little thin still. So I'm just going to bump this up to 3. And let's do 4. And let's take our divisions down to 1. So we're only working with a little bit of geometry still. Okay, so I think that works as far as the thickness of the wood. Now, if I go ahead and just go back to, let's say, move, I still have those original polygons selected. So now what I want to do is I want to create a new piece of geometry that flows in the same, that exists in the same space here, but it's going to be the base of our upholstery. So to do that, I want to duplicate these faces. So we're going to go to Edit Mesh, down to Face, Duplicate. And so now we've created a duplicate of just those faces. So now we have this object, and then we have this object. You can see they're still listed under pipe. So if you want to, you can hit Shift P to drop those out. And now we have both objects separated. Now let's take these, and I'm going to turn off the template for now. And I don't want the upholstery to go all the way to the end of the wood. And so I want to actually cut off a little bit of this. And so I'm going to use multi-cut. So we'll select this tool right here. I'm going to hit Control. And I'm just going to add some lines kind of right in here so that we can get rid of this outer part. And I'll do the same kind of right here and right here and then down here. And so now what I want to do is delete those outer polygons. So it might be a little bit hard to see. Turn on wireframe. I only want the ones on the outside here and only polygons. So you can see I can delete those. I can come around and delete the ones on the end. Make sure I'm selecting faces. And if you want to, you can also, at this point, the other piece is kind of getting in our way. So we could grab this one and just view that one. And so that makes it a little bit easier to see. I can select this and shift double click on the inside, and that'll select all the way up to the top. I can do the same thing here. I'll go all the way down there. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of these for now. Whenever you delete edges, you want to hold down Control to do it. That'll get rid of the points that go with them. All right, so let's go back and turn off this. So now you can see we have kind of an opening here, or it's not as thick. So now what I want to do is I want to extrude out this, but I want to do it in a couple of different ways. So I want to have a sort of bead coming around. If you've ever seen like an upholstered chair, there's I'm not sure the name for it, but it's the bead around the edges that kind of defines the edge of the upholstery. And so I want to have something like that along the edges of this. So to do that, we need to have some geometry there. So we'll go back into multi-cut, and we're going to add another line in here. And we want it to be the thickness of that bead. Okay, so something like that. And then if we want that bead to go all the way across here, we're going to need to do it here, here, and here. Okay, so now we need to extrude this, but we're going to do it in two different kind of sections, two different extrudes, so that we get the bead and then we also get the upholstery in the center. So let's do the bead first. I'm going to select all of those outer polygons, so the ones that we just created. And if we need to go to wireframe, we can. So only the outer ones that we just made. Okay, so we've got those selected. So now what we're going to do is hit Control E to extrude those. Let's give it a little bit of thickness. Other way. So let's go minus 0.01. And let's take our divisions down. So something like that. Now I want to select the rest of the polygons. So I'm just going to select all of those and then select those in the center. I'll deselect the ones on the bottom. So we just want the interior. All right. Now we can extrude this. So Control E to